Hello everybody, my name is Ross LLP and welcome to Things That Fall Out of My Head. Today I'm just doing a quick update on a video I did a few days ago, which was the Corvo mask from Dishonored 2. I've had a little bit more time to work on it and I just thought I'd show you where I'm up to. So we'll start on the outside of the thing because it's a little bit easier. So I didn't end up taking any of this apart. This I left as one piece. I did end up gluing the jaw back in quite a bit lower than it was on the original. It was kind of up here originally, but in order for it to sit properly on my face, I had to drop this down a little bit. But I clipped off the plasticky, horrible wires that were on there and just used the inside of some electrical wire to get this back in. So as you can see with all these little filling bits, this is where the wires were located. Just filled those in with milliput, the superfine stuff, sanded it down and relocated my holes just a little bit off from where they were before, but with the jaw in a different position. I think this kind of works. I also didn't go for the completely straight wires. When I was putting them in, I made sure I bent them all out of shape and then straightened them back out again when I was putting them in, just to give it that kind of worn look. I mean, the rest of the thing is dented to crap, so I can't imagine that these things are going to be perfectly arrow bloody straight. I had to put a couple of extra wires in down here. This was just to keep this jaw sort of supported, otherwise it was a little bit flimsy, and I didn't want it kind of all moving around and coming out of space. So that's pretty much it for the outside. I mean, the majority of what I've got to do to this now is going to be painting on the outside. You know, there's no more filling or anything like that I'm going to do. Any holes that are there, any bits that I've missed are just going to stay there just to add a bit of extra character to it. So on the inside, a little bit more doing in here. So obviously it's a bit of a mess at the moment with all these wire ends and stuff in here that I've got to tidy up. But I took the center of the little gold like headpiece and just attached that on the inside here for a little bit of extra detail. These two little cushiony pieces that were originally lower down, I think they were somewhere here, but they were part of the problem as to why this thing wouldn't fit on your head, so I've just mounted them up here instead. And these now actually help keep the mask off the top of my head, so that I can put some straps in here for when it's going to be worn. The optics have come completely out. I'm still working on those at the moment. These little side greeblies, the little steampunky cog things, those are taken from the original frame in here as well. I just thought they were really cool little detail pieces. I didn't really want to have to remake all of those because there's a lot of circles and curves and things that are a bastard to cut by hand. Down here in the jaw, as I say, these originally located up here, so it's had to drop down a little bit just so I can get my face in the bloody thing. And these two little pieces here were just originally as part of this jaw setup. They were parts that were giving it a kind of layered look to make it a little bit more interesting. Same with these little greebly things here. Those I just sort of cut down from their mounts and glued them back in. Just again for a little bit more detail. Use more milliput around the inside here just to keep all of these pieces in place. The plastic this is made from, I don't know whether it's HDPE or PVC or something, but it doesn't like glue at all. I mean, like, it doesn't like super glue, it doesn't like plastic glue, like, you know, normal poly cement. So I ended up having to stick it in with this clay instead, and it's fairly sturdy. One thing I am going to have to do now, which I wasn't originally planning to, which is go around the inside here and just fill in all of these pieces here and in here and around the eyes, just with a layer of clay, and again over the outside of here, just to smooth all of this out, give it a bit more detail. Maybe I might try and sculpt in like a quilted pattern or something like that to make it a little bit more interesting. And then of course the rest of the inside here will be covered with the fabric part, which I am trying to pattern out at the moment, but it's an absolute arsehole to do because it's such a fitted shape. So I'm either going to have to go with something a lot more simple than I'd want to, or I'm going to have to do it in multiple pieces, whereas the original was in one piece, which is what I prefer to do, but you know, hey, not that clever. Mainly I just didn't want any seams running down in here on the fabric so that you could see it through the mask. I wanted that to be nice and clean. But yeah, so a bit of an update. Unfortunately, I haven't got around to starting to paint any of this yet. I really want to get all the messy bits done on the inside here first. Before I go about that, the wires, I was originally going to leave them that copper colour, but because we've got so many other little gold details and accents around the thing, I'm going to paint them to match those anyway, just to give it a more sort of coherent look. Excuse me. Not really sure what I'm going to do with the painting yet. I mean, I've got a crappy old airbrush that I could try and use with it, but with all the texture on here, I think I'll probably end up just hand painting it. I mean, there's a lot of little nicks and digs and cracks and stuff, and all these little like welding lines and stuff that it's going to be a lot of fun to pick out by hand. So I'll probably spray the thing. These are I'm going to do these in a little like leather effect in here, just so I'm not having to match it up with a fabric colour in there. But yeah, I think I'll paint it by hand, and hopefully next weekend I should be in a position to start doing that, providing I can get the rest of the inside sculpted this week. So just a quick update for you guys. I'm not going to show it being worn just yet, because I was kind of wanting to save that for when it's actually finished and, you know, it's looking nice, rather than kind of all patchy and covered in brass wire. But we're getting there, slowly but surely. I was planning to film some of this when I was putting it together, but being the flaky shit that I am, I tend to just, you know, pick something up, do something to it, put it down again for a few hours, and then come back to it later. So it was just my laziness that meant I couldn't. Painting, things like that, I mean, there's a few little techniques I want to use on here that I'll try and get on camera. There's some verdigris effects and some kind of water staining that I want to do. But yeah, so that's where we're up to, slowly but surely. And hopefully, as I say, within the next couple of weeks, hopefully we should have turned a, frankly, quite nice little replica into something you can wear, and it should be, hopefully, you know, quite cool and awesome looking. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. There will be some more cosplay stuff coming at some point. I've still got this little guy here to finish up painting, Corvo's dagger, and there'll be some Harley Quinn stuff coming as well for Bish to play around with. But thank you very much. If you like what you're seeing, you know, leave us a like, leave us a comment, subscribe. It does mean a lot to us, and it gives us that kind of impetus to keep churning these silly little videos out for you. So thanks very much, and I'll see you guys soon.